The news coming out of training camp just sent massive shockwaves through the entire fan base. A devastating injury update has dropped on our newly acquired defensive weapon, and the medical timeline is far worse than anyone anticipated. We are talking about a severe knee hyperextension, a bone bruise, and a structural fracture that will sideline him for up to 10 long weeks. If you want the fastest breaking updates, deep dive analysis, and raw reactions all season long, hit that like button, share this with every fan you know, and subscribe to the channel right now. We have to start with the breaking news directly from Adam Schefter regarding star safety Coby Bryant. The initial diagnosis is officially in, and it is a massive blow to the secondary. Bryant is set to miss anywhere between 8 to 10 weeks after suffering a hyperextended knee, a severe bone bruise, and a small fracture. When you break that timeline down, it means he is guaranteed to miss the rest of training camp, the entire preseason, and the first month to 6 weeks of the regular season. While it is not a complete, season-ending disaster, it is a massive setback for a defensive unit that was expecting him to be a foundational piece from day one. The tension on the practice field during day 5 was palpable the second the injury occurred. Bryant went down during team drills, immediately grabbed his knee, and was visibly frustrated on the field. He had to be carted off straight to the locker room, leaving the entire defense in a state of shock. Early on, there was no official release from the front office, leaving fans scrambling for answers. Star wideout Rome Odunze mentioned in an interview with Kay Adams right after practice that Bryant, quote, should be fine, attempting to cool down the panic. Shortly after, rookie tight end Colston Loveland echoed that sentiment, saying that seeing a teammate go down always sucks, but Coby is a ultimate dog, tough as nails, and that the team isn't stressing it. Loveland added that they would leave the formal medical updates to head coach Ben Johnson. Can we honestly take those optimistic locker room comments at face value when a $40 million star is getting carted off the field in tears? That is the absolute bottom line here. As much as you love seeing player solidarity, we need cold, hard medical facts, not just hopeful post-practice quotes. Coby Bryant was brought in here on a lucrative 3-year, $40 million contract specifically to replace Kevin Byard and elevate the overall ceiling of this secondary. He was a versatile, high-level defensive chess piece during his time with the Seattle Seahawks, capable of playing in the slot, dropping deep, or coming up to stop the run. Losing that kind of tactical flexibility right before the season starts is a brutal punch to the gut. What makes this situation even more critical is the domino effect it has on the rest of the secondary. The defensive backfield is suddenly getting dangerously thin. Kyler Gordon remains sidelined on the physically unable to perform list as he continues to work through a stubborn calf injury. Elijah Hicks is also stuck on the PUP list dealing with a lingering shin issue. To make matters worse, Terrell Smith was forced to leave practice early with an undisclosed injury. That is 4 key rotational defensive backs dealing with physical setbacks all at once. The only major bright spot in the secondary right now is Jalen Johnson, who looks completely healthy, locked in, and playing at an all-pro level. Meanwhile, young safety Dylan Thiemann is getting valuable reps, and Ben Johnson publicly challenged Tariq Stevenson to elevate his daily focus as the intensity of camp cranks up. Shifting over to the offensive side of the ball, we did get a much more promising update regarding rookie running back Kyle Monangai. Head coach Ben Johnson finally addressed the media during his morning press conference, revealing that Monangai is dealing with a minor soft tissue tweak and is currently listed as day-to-day. The positive news is that Monangai was actually back out on the field in uniform during practice. Even though the staff held him out of full 11-on-11 team drills and 7-on-7 work, he was actively participating in individual positional drills. Video footage showed him taking handoffs, executing sharp lateral cuts, and moving at near full speed. It appears he likely felt some mild tightness in his hamstring or calf, prompting the medical team to take a smart, cautious approach. Managing player health at the running back position is absolutely vital, especially given how physical the division is going to be this year. Monangai proved in college at Rutgers that he thrives on a heavy workload, and he is expected to play a major role in this backfield alongside DeAndre Swift. Coach Johnson explicitly noted that the staff will be scaling back reps for veteran backs throughout camp to ensure their legs are completely fresh for a grueling 17-game regular season plus a potential playoff run. In the modern NFL, limiting unnecessary physical wear and tear on your top ball carriers during the dog days of summer is simply elite roster management. Now, let's pivot to the single biggest question mark hanging over the entire offense right now. What is the coaching staff's master plan for the upcoming preseason games? Coach Ben Johnson dropped eyebrows today when he admitted that he has not yet decided whether franchise quarterback Caleb Williams or any of the key starters will play in the exhibition slate. Johnson explained that the staff is taking a data-driven approach, constantly measuring load management, rep quality, and player recovery before making a final call. He also pointed out that the team has 2 intense joint practice sessions scheduled against high-level opponents like the Browns, Bengals, and Titans. Head coaches across the league often value joint practices significantly more than preseason games because they offer highly competitive, controlled reps without the unpredictable safety hazards of live exhibition games. Which brings us directly to our official question of the day: should Ben Johnson risk playing Caleb Williams in the preseason, or should he keep the star quarterback completely benched until week 1? Drop a Y for yes or an N for no in the comments right now. If you asked me, caution has to be the top priority. Last season was a completely different story. The offense was breaking in a brand new playbook, pre-snap penalties were a constant headache, and Caleb desperately needed live game reps to get comfortable operating the huddle. But this year, the operational rhythm is already light years ahead. At most, you could argue for letting Caleb play a single series in one game just to feel the game day adrenaline, process the play clock, and get a warm-up drive under his belt. Beyond that, putting your franchise asset behind an offensive line that is still sorting out its starting units makes very little sense. If you aren't going to play proven veteran offensive linemen like Joe Thuney or Jonah Jackson in meaningless games, you certainly shouldn't expose your starting quarterback to unblocked pass rushers. Speaking of the offensive line, the battle for the starting left tackle position reached a fascinating turning point as the pads finally came on. Braxton Jones took the overwhelming majority of first-team reps during live line drills, sending a crystal-clear message to the entire league that he is currently the firm favorite to retain his starting job. On the other field, Jedrick Wills turned in an impressive performance while working primarily with the second and third units. This was a massive hurdle for Wills, as it marked his very first action taking real physical hits and pads in nearly 2 full years following his recovery process. On the other end of the spectrum, rookie Kieran Amegadjie had a nightmarish day in the trenches. Reports from beat writers indicated that Amegadjie was repeatedly beaten in one-on-one pass rush sets and struggled during team scrimmage periods. After getting a look with the first-team unit during unpadded walkthroughs earlier in the week, his poor performance with pads on suggests he is slipping down the depth chart. Coach Johnson acknowledged that Braxton Jones has been remarkably consistent, while Jedrick Wills is firmly pushing in the competition. Johnson also mentioned Theo Benedict, praising him as a valuable swing tackle option who offers great flexibility to slide inside to guard or line up as a heavy tight end in goal line packages. Who do you believe will ultimately earn the starting left tackle spot when week 1 arrives? Vote down below by typing BJ for Braxton Jones, JW for Jedrick Wills, K for Kieran Amegadjie, or TB for Theo Benedict. To wrap up today's comprehensive training camp report, let's fire through a rapid-fire breakdown of the biggest risers on the roster. Starting at the pivot, Garrett Bradbury is rapidly running away with the starting center job. Coach Ben Johnson raved about Bradbury's transition into the system, stating enthusiastically that the offensive line is, quote, cooking with him right now. With rookie center Logan Jones taking reps strictly with the reserves, Bradbury has essentially locked down the starting spot, providing a veteran anchor for Caleb Williams to rely on. Over in the wide receiver room, Xavier Thomas is proving to be one of the biggest surprises of camp. Many analysts expected Thomas to be utilized strictly as a gadget player or kick returner, but he spent all afternoon making contested catches downfield and executing exceptionally polished route concepts. He is quickly earning the trust of the quarterback room and carving out a legitimate role in the weekly game plan. Finally, the hype surrounding rookie wide receiver Luther Burden III has officially gone thermonuclear. Burden put on an absolute clinic along the sidelines today, hauling in boundary passes with incredible body control and dynamic hands. When reporters asked insider Kay Adams which receiver Caleb Williams was hyper-targeted on throughout the practice, her immediate answer was Luther Burden III. The natural chemistry developing between Caleb and Burden is undeniable, validating Coach Johnson's bold claim that Burden possesses the rare ceiling to become an elite receiver in this league. The excitement surrounding this explosive offense is reaching historic heights, but the health of our secondary remains a massive storyline to watch closely as training camp rolls on. Drop all your thoughts, predictions, and hot takes in the comments section below, and stay tuned for full coverage as we follow every single move this team makes.